Imagine a nation standing at the intersection of history and the future. A country with the heart of tradition and the mind of innovation. A place where faith meets technology, where struggle creates strength, and where youth are not waiting for opportunities. They are creating them. This is not a dream. This is happening right now. And the world is beginning to notice. For years, many have looked at Pakistan only through the lens of its challenges. But what if we look deeper at its potential, its energy, and its people? What if, instead of asking what Pakistan lacks, we asked what Pakistan could become? Over the next decade, this nation could redefine the future of the Muslim world, not through power or wealth, but through creativity, courage, and collaboration. Today, I want to take you on a journey, a vision of how one country, often underestimated, could become the bridge between East and West, between tradition and progress, between the old world and the digital age. A journey that begins with a question every great nation must answer. How can we turn our challenges into opportunities? So, as you listen to this speech, don't just hear the story of a country. Hear the story of what's possible when vision meets resilience. Stay with me till the end, because the next few minutes might change how you see Pakistan, the Muslim world, and the future itself. Pakistan stands at the crossroads of Asia and the Middle East, occupying one of the most strategically valuable positions in the world. Over the next decade, this unique geography could turn the country into an essential economic hub, connecting the Muslim world with Europe, Central Asia, and East Asia. For centuries, trade routes passing through this region linked civilizations and cultures. And today, history is repeating itself in the digital age. Pakistan's evolving infrastructure, expanding middle class, and commitment to modernization are creating new opportunities that go far beyond its borders. The country's proximity to China, Central Asia, the Arabian Gulf, and India places it at the heart of one of the most dynamic economic regions on Earth. Through initiatives like the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC, Pakistan is building deep sea ports, energy corridors, and transport networks that could redefine regional trade. Gwadar Port, for example, holds the potential to become a critical maritime gateway linking the Middle East's energy supplies with Asia's industrial centers. These projects, combined with growing foreign investment, are transforming Pakistan from a consumer market into a transit and production hub for the wider Muslim world. In addition to its geography, Pakistan's economic future is being shaped by its people. A growing urban population is driving consumer demand, entrepreneurship, and technological innovation. Cities such as Karachi, Lahore, and Islamabad are becoming emerging centers for finance, information technology, and e-commerce, contributing to the broader Islamic digital economy. This shift is drawing attention from international investors who see Pakistan not only as a large domestic market, but also as a launchpad for regional expansion into Muslim-majority countries. Moreover, Pakistan's integration into global trade frameworks and its partnerships with Gulf economies are opening doors to new possibilities in logistics, renewable energy, and food security. As Europe seeks new trade allies and diversified supply routes, Pakistan's economic rise could serve as a bridge between European innovation and the Muslim world's markets and resources. The transformation underway is not just economic, but structural, laying the groundwork for a new model of development that combines connectivity, technology, and cultural cooperation. Over the next decade, if supported by consistent policy and vision, Pakistan has the potential to evolve into a central pillar of the Muslim world's economic future and a key partner in the global market. Pakistan's digital transformation is rapidly redefining the structure of its economy, creating opportunities that could make it a leading force in the Muslim world's technological future. Over the last few years, the country has witnessed an unprecedented surge in digital adoption. from mobile banking and online education to e-commerce and fintech innovation. This shift is not merely a trend, it represents a foundational change in how people work, trade, and connect. With a young, tech-savvy population and increasing internet penetration, Pakistan is positioning itself to compete in the global digital marketplace, bridging traditional industries with the demands of the modern world. E-commerce has emerged as one of the most dynamic sectors in Pakistan's economy. Platforms for online shopping, freelancing, and digital services are empowering small and medium enterprises, allowing entrepreneurs to reach regional and international audiences without the barriers of physical trade. The government's growing support for digital infrastructure and financial inclusion, through initiatives like RASP, the National Digital Payment System, is further accelerating this transformation. These developments are enabling millions of unbanked citizens to participate in the formal economy, expanding access to capital, and creating a new generation of digital entrepreneurs. The country's startup ecosystem is also thriving, particularly in fintech, logistics, and health tech. Venture capital investments have increased dramatically, with foreign investors recognizing the long-term potential of Pakistan's digital market. This wave of innovation is driven largely by young professionals who are not waiting for global corporations to bring solutions. They are building their own. As a result, Pakistan is cultivating a culture of self-reliance and creativity that mirrors the broader aspirations of the Muslim world to compete on a global technological stage. Beyond commerce, digital transformation is reshaping governance and education. Online learning platforms are giving rural and urban youth access to quality education, while digital governance initiatives are improving transparency and efficiency in public services. Together, these shifts are redefining the relationship between the state, the market, and the citizen. Over the coming decade, Pakistan's embrace of digital technology could do more than boost its economy. It could inspire a wider transformation across the Muslim world, one that blends innovation with inclusivity and progress with purpose, establishing Pakistan as a model of digital evolution within the Islamic economic landscape. Pakistan's greatest strength lies in its people, particularly its youth, who represent one of the youngest and most vibrant populations in the Muslim world. Over 60% of Pakistanis are under the age of 30, creating a demographic advantage that few nations possess. This generation, born into a world of rapid tech, technological change, and global connectivity, carries the potential to transform Pakistan's economic and cultural landscape over the next decade. The energy, creativity, and adaptability of young Pakistanis are gradually becoming the country's most valuable resource, driving innovation, entrepreneurship, and social progress at an accelerating pace. Education and technology have become central to this transformation. Over the last decade, access to digital tools, online learning platforms, and international collaborations has empowered young people to develop new skills and ideas. Many are entering fields such as software development, artificial intelligence, and e-commerce, contributing not only to Pakistan's domestic growth, but also to the wider digital economy of the Muslim world. Freelancers and remote workers from Pakistan are already recognized globally for their technical and creative expertise, bringing valuable foreign exchange and international visibility to the country. This sea of digital talent reflects a shift in mindset, from dependence on traditional jobs to a culture of innovation and self-employment. Entrepreneurship has become another defining feature of Pakistan's youth. Startups in fintech, logistics, education, and agriculture are addressing local challenges while competing on global standards. Young innovators are learning to see problems as opportunities, designing scalable solutions that benefit both business and society. This entrepreneurial spirit is fostering resilience in a generation determined to shape its own destiny, even in the face of economic or political uncertainty. Their ambitions are not limited by national borders. They aspire to represent Pakistan as a center of excellence for technology, creativity, and sustainability within the broader Muslim world. The influence of this youthful energy extends beyond economics. Through social media, digital art, and global collaboration, Pakistan's youth are redefining narratives about the entire country, projecting a modern, confident, and forward-thinking image to the world. If properly guided and supported through education reform, digital infrastructure, and inclusive opportunities, this young generation could not only transform Pakistan, but also play a leading role in shaping the intellectual and economic renewal of the Muslim world, creating a decade of growth powered by human capital and innovation. Pakistan's strategic alliances and growing regional connectivity are becoming central to its emergence as a key player in the Muslim world's future. The country's location at the intersection of South Asia, Central Asia, and the Middle East gives it a rare advantage in linking major economies, energy routes, and cultural spheres. Over the next decade, this geographical and diplomatic positioning could enable Pakistan to become a vital bridge, not just in trade, but in technology, energy, and political cooperation among Muslim-majority nations and their global partners. As strategic partnerships are already reshaping Pakistan's role in regional and global affairs, redefining how the Muslim world interacts with the rest of the international community. One of the most transformative initiatives in this context is the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC, a flagship component of China's Belt and Road Initiative. CPEC has strengthened Pakistan's infrastructure, improved energy access, and opened up new trade routes connecting the Arabian Sea to Western China and Central Asia. This development is turning Pakistan into a central transit hub for goods, technology, and investment, with Gwadar Port serving as a key maritime gateway for the Muslim world. Such infrastructure projects not only enhance economic activity, but also deepen Pakistan's ties with regional allies, including Gulf nations seeking reliable trade and transport corridors. Beyond China, Pakistan's growing cooperation with Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Turkey is expanding its influence across the Muslim world. These alliances go beyond traditional diplomacy. They now include collaboration in renewable energy, technology transfer, defense, and education. Pakistan's role as a connector between the Gulf economies, Central Asian markets, and Southeast Asian production centers gives it strategic importance in shaping the next generation of Muslim world integration. Additionally, Pakistan's participation in organizations such as the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC, and emerging Islamic economic blocs enhances its capacity to contribute to collective growth and stability. Regional connectivity also carries a cultural and human dimension. Educational exchanges, tourism, and diaspora linkages are fostering a deeper sense of shared purpose among Muslim nations. Pakistan's growing digital infrastructure and financial connectivity could further facilitate seamless interaction between Islamic markets. If managed with strategic foresight, these partnerships and linkages can transform Pakistan from a geopolitical crossroad into a center of cooperation, innovation, and progress that benefits not only its own people, but also the wider Muslim world in the coming decade. Pakistan's influence in the Muslim world extends far beyond economics and geopolitics. It carries a deep cultural and spiritual dimension that shapes its identity and global relevance. Rooted in a rich history of art, literature, and intellectual thought, Pakistan represents a blend of Islamic values and modern aspirations. Over the next decade, its growing cultural and spiritual leadership could serve as a unifying force across the Muslim world, promoting balance between tradition and progress. This leadership is not based on wealth or military strength, but on the power of ideas, creativity, and moral example, qualities that resonate deeply with Muslim societies seeking renewal in an era of rapid global change. Pakistan's literary and philosophical legacy continues to inspire narrations throughout the Muslim world. Thinkers like Allama Iqbal envisioned a future in which Muslim nations would rediscover their spiritual confidence through education, self-reliance, and collective purpose. Today, those ideas are finding new relevance among youth and intellectual circles across the Middle East, Central Asia, and Africa. Through its universities, cultural institutions, and artistic movements, Pakistan is once again emerging as a center of dialogue and reflection within the broader Islamic civilization. Its artists, filmmakers, and writers are gaining international recognition, using creative expression to bridge the gap between East and West, and to represent the modern Muslim identity with authenticity and depth. At the same time, Pakistan's commitment to education and knowledge sharing enhances its soft power. Initiatives promoting Islamic scholarship, interfaith dialogue, and digital education are building bridges not only within the Muslim world, but also between Muslim societies and global audiences. The country's growing role in global humanitarian efforts, peacekeeping, and religious diplomacy further strengthens its image as a nation capable of promoting unity through compassion and ethical leadership. In a time when many societies face ideological polarization, Pakistan's emphasis on moderation and coexistence gives it a voice of reason and balance in global conversations about Islam and modernity. Culturally and spiritually, Pakistan is poised to contribute a message of renewal, one that blends faith, creativity, and innovation. Its influence could help reshape how the Muslim world defines progress, not simply as material growth, but as a moral and intellectual awakening that aligns with universal values. This cultural leadership may become Pakistan's most enduring contribution to the future of the Muslim world. Pakistan's path toward progress has never been without challenges, but it is within these very struggles that the seeds of transformation are sown. The nation faces complex issues, economic instability, energy shortages, governance gaps, and regional tensions. Yet these challenges have also cultivated resilience, adaptability, and innovation among its people. Over the next decade, Pakistan's ability to convert its obstacles into opportunities will define its role in the Muslim world. Rather than being hindered by its difficulties, Pakistan is learning to harness them as catalysts for reform and reinvention. This capacity for renewal is what distinguishes emerging nations that thrive from those that merely survive. Economic volatility, while a major hurdle, has prompted diversification and creativity in Pakistan's private sector. Entrepreneurs and small businesses are finding new ways to navigate uncertainty through digital innovation, export-oriented industries, and alternative financing. Crises in energy and resources have accelerated the shift toward renewable energy, with solar and hydropower projects gaining momentum. Similarly, inflation and currency pressures are pushing local producers to innovate and focus on value-added industries, stimulating self-reliance rather than dependency on imports. In the long term, these adaptive responses are building a more sustainable and balanced economic foundation. Governance and institutional reform are also entering a new phase. Pressure from both domestic and international stakeholders is encouraging greater transparency, accountability, and efficiency in public administration. The rise of digital governance systems is reducing bureaucratic inefficiency and empowering citizens through access to information. Civil society and the youth are becoming more vocal in demanding integrity and innovation in leadership, which could drive a gradual cultural shift toward merit and performance. This awakening, though slow, signals the beginning of a deeper transformation in Pakistan's political and administrative systems. Even on the geopolitical front, Pakistan is turning its challenges into opportunities for diplomacy and cooperation. Rather than being defined by its conflicts, the country is emphasizing its role as a mediator and connector in regional affairs. Its resilience in the face of adversity has earned it respect and recognition in international circles. Over the coming decade, Pakistan's journey through struggle and reform could serve as a blueprint for other Muslim nations, demonstrating how persistence, innovation, and faith can turn crises into stepping stones for a stronger, more unified, and self-reliant future. Ladies and gentlemen, as we look toward the next decade, Pakistan's story is not just one of challenges. It is one of remarkable potential and awakening. From its emerging economic strength and digital transformation to the energy of its youth, the depth of its cultural heritage, and the power of its strategic partnerships, every element points toward a nation ready to lead, connect, and inspire within the Muslim world and beyond. What we see unfolding is more than national progress. It is the rise of a bridge between civilizations, a center of innovation rooted in values, and a voice of balance in an increasingly divided world. The coming years will test Pakistan's determination, but they will also showcase its creativity and courage. The transformation ahead will not be written by governments or institutions alone, but by the millions of individuals, thinkers, builders, dreamers, and doers who believe in a future larger than themselves. If guided by purpose, patience, and unity, Pakistan can shape a new model of development that harmonizes faith with progress and tradition with technology. It has the potential not only to transform its own destiny, but also to reignite hope and cooperation across the Muslim world. To all those who believe in the spirit of possibility, I say this: the next decade belongs to those who dare to imagine beyond boundaries. The story of Pakistan's future is still being written by every young innovator, every entrepreneur, every teacher, and every citizen who refuses to give up on the dream of a better tomorrow. Thank you for being part of this vision, for believing in the power of progress, and for supporting the journey of a nation that continues to rise with resilience and purpose. May the next decade bring growth, peace, and opportunity, not just for Pakistan, but for all who share in its hope and its heart. Good luck, and thank you.